All right, y'all. Super Dan Azeez versus Sep, man. Uh, what more can I say, man? I think this finna be an easy fight for Dan. Me personally, I like Dan's ability to go the distance with top fighters. There's no way in fucking hell I see Sep knocking Dan out, doing anything to hurt Dan. Not a difficult fight. It's only 8 rounds. Just to get Dan back out in the water since his last fight, which was against Buatsi, 12 rounds. He lost the fight. But, according to Dan, he says this is his way of coming back and building back up. Me personally, seems like it's just a fight to get him right before he gets thrust into another big fight. From what I heard, he's supposed to be fighting Lyndon Arthur. So, I mean, you would want to have a nice little tune-up fight, I guess you could say, before you jump in there with somebody like Lyndon, especially if Joshua Buatsi is supposed to be fighting Anthony Yard. I could see, what the move is here. I think personally, the likely method of victory for this fight is going to be Dan Azeez by decision. The reason I say that is because Sep has never been knocked out, never been stopped. He's a decent puncher. 12 wins, 9 knockouts. He fought Bolotniks, was taking some of Bolotniks' best shots. He's a come-forward fighter, comes with a lot of pressure. Big punches, I guess you could say. But he's a strong, durable guy. He's resilient. Good amateur background. He beat Joshua Buatsi in the amateurs. He beat Steven So-Called Nelson in the amateurs. So, that tells us that there is some, there is some technical proficiency there. We know Dan, we know Dan's got good conditioning, good stamina, good endurance. He has a great ability to maintain pressure, some, decent defense, slightly aggressive style. I really can't see a stoppage here, man, but I can see Dan thwarting the pressure with the jab, and just using his, using his ability to be elusive, his footwork and all that shit to mitigate the pressure and the power of Sep. So with that said, man, I think, especially with it being 8 rounds as well, it's not a 10 rounder, it's not a 12 rounder. With it being 8 rounds, I think it's likely to go the 8. We do know it's in the UK. UK, nothing against the folks across the pond, but y'all fights be getting stopped for anything, damn near. You know what I mean? Excuse me. The ref will wave y'all shit off in a heartbeat. So, there is always that possibility. I think if there was gonna be any shot that would put Sep down, it would be a body shot. But if Dan is, moving his feet like I think he will, I don't know how, set he will be to actually dig and let that shot go to where it's like super crippling. But you never know, man. It could be a first. Dan could be the first one to stop him. I think if it were to happen, it wouldn't be, it wouldn't be quick. It wouldn't be early. Dudes accustomed to going 8 rounds, 6 to 8 rounds. I don't even think he's been knocked down before. So, personally, over 6.5, that's a nice one too. I would probably put that on a parlay if it was me, just because I think Sep's durable enough and, he's got enough pop in his punches as well. So, looking at the odds makers, they favor the stoppage at minus 165, decision plus 130. I would grab that. If you got a parlay, if you one of them people that, put $5 parlays together, something like that, I would take Dan Azeez by decision. Just because the value is there in the points. But I think a safe play here will be over 6.5, because if Dan does stop him, I think it would be 7 to 8. You know what I'm saying? If Dan can apply enough pressure or get Sep tired enough in those first, 1 to 5 rounds. I don't know. I mean, people might be expecting to see like, oh, Dan's back. But I don't, with it being 8 rounds, I just don't think it's one of them fights where Dan got to come out there and crush dude. Also, this card is in a it's not a very lengthy card. You know, one of the things that made that top rank card easier, that with Tiger Johnson and Jahai and them, was because with how short it was kind of clear to see that most of them fights was gonna go the distance. Because usually the fights, there's an allotted time frame. You know what I'm saying? So with all that said, I think that's one of this. You know, this card is a shorter one. You got what, 2 6-round fights, 2 8-round fights, 1 10-rounder, and 2 12-rounders, and there's a chance that your 10-rounder ain't going the distance. Your 12-rounder, the first 12 round, it's a chance the last 2 12-rounders ain't going the distance either, but we'll get to those. But yeah, man, over 6.5, then Azeez by decision. Me personally, I'll probably throw the over 6.5 on a parlay. If I'm building a dream parlay or something like that, I'm gonna put the over 6.5 just to cover my ass. Cause you know the stoppages do get funky across the pond. But if you feeling it and you fucking with it, I would say Dan Azeez by decision, man. Again, amateur background for Sep, Joshua Buatsi in the amateur, and the amateurs beat him. The fight with Bolotniks, and he's got some other, you know, I'm pretty sure solid wins on there. Professionally, not too many people we know about because he's from Croatia, backed by Hrvoje, 38 years old though. He's up there in age, but he doesn't have much professional experience. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta factor that in as well. Again, I don't think there's a stoppage here, but I think there's a clear UD possibility for 7 to 8 stoppage. 7 to 8 stoppage, and most likely this fight will be available to bet on live. So be looking out for the stoppage live. If you're one of the people that put the parlay, put the decision on a parlay, be looking for the stoppage live. I know if you bet on FanDuel and it's live on FanDuel, there's rounds you could bet. So you could bet round 8, you could bet round 9. If you feel like you see a stoppage coming, if you feel like those body shots are landing a little too easy, he's not gonna make it. Like if he keeps taking them shits through 4, 5, and 6, like if he took a fuck ton in 1 and 3, you know what I'm saying? You already know 4, 5 to 6, that shit's gonna get tricky. 7 to 8, he might be out of there. So, again, that's another reason why I think the over 6.5 is a good play. And if you on FanDuel and it's live, you got round betting on there. You got group round betting on there most likely too. I haven't checked FanDuel yet. I've been hitting off DraftKings, but most likely you got round betting on there. So you 7, 8, 9, 10. You got singles. I mean, there could be plenty of plays here to bet live. So don't forget about that. A lot of people get soaked up in these parlays and shit and forget to bet live. If you got live betting, take advantage of that shit. Just watch. You can watch a few rounds and then make your decision while you watching live. And still make plays. So me personally, for Dan Azeez and Sep, over 6.5. If you feeling froggy, go with the decision. You know what I mean? But most likely, the film and, you know, the breakdown on the fighters, the analysis on the fighters is telling us that Sep is durable enough, experienced enough. With the amateur experience, he'll adapt. He has adaptability, technical proficiency. He should be okay. So, yeah, don't let the bookies trick you out your bag. On to the next one.